Hello everybody, I'm Danny the Heck, an investigative journalist based in New Zealand. Today we're going to take a closer look at a company called Morizon. They claim to be building a global financial ecosystem with things like 27% cashback, UK bank accounts and Mastercard debit cards. Sounds impressive, right? But when you start doing digging, the story doesn't quite add up. I spent the last few hours going through their websites, their compliance documents, and I even joined a Zoom call and talked to two people who say they run the company. Let's just say things got a little bit heated. It was actually a part of a 6-hour live where I got off back to back and decided to start digging into this company so I could produce a blog. In this live, we're going to walk through exactly what I found, the red flags, the recycled legal paperwork, the marketing claims that just don't match reality. If you're watching because you're someone who tried to get involved with Morizon, if I'm saying that correctly, or they promised you easy money, you need to stick around. By the end of this stream, you would have a much clearer idea of what really is going on behind the scenes. So let's get started. Now, for shits and giggles, let's first have a look at the live that I did. Now, what I've done, the live that I did, we crashed Chavez's meeting, and we crashed a whole lot of meetings. But first of all, we did crash this meeting here. But I have just put that in the chat room, so I'll actually press go on it. It's a link, so if you want to join us, you can. But let's see what these people are trying to peddle.
What countries we're going to put those in, namely African countries. And the reason is because the build cost in Africa.
So as I do, when I'm in the Zoom meetings, I started playing around a little bit, and I put my hand up, and then they realized that Danny the Heck was in the room. And they decided, I even got to pull out their whiteboard and start writing scam over it. Because I've seen this this opportunity years ago. Oh, g'day, Violet. Now, this here is a video that was in my archives, which I had online. This got over 1,000 views. It was 2 years ago. And after Hyperverse died, this guy here, Clayton Ford, decided to come out and start pushing this opportunity. And it was a way where people who lost money in their last scam could double down and get themselves out of it. So it was such a laugh to actually see these people. And Keith Williams, God rest his soul, as they say, he died on the 19th of August. This is Clayton Ford. Now, if you don't know Clayton Ford, he actually brought in $350 million for Hyperverse. He's a good networker. Well, he also claimed that he could help people get their money back. And the solution was Morizon. Yes, and that was 2 years ago. So ever since he's been, after he's done that video, 2 years later, they're still going to be this and they're going to be that. And I did notice some other things which I haven't put in the blog, but I'll tell you just quickly. I had a look on the Apple App Store and I couldn't locate their app anywhere. But on the Google Play Store, I did find their app. Now, if you know me, unfortunately, the Google Play Store, if I said that right, allows anybody to put their app. And if you're ever going to get done by fraud, you'll go on there and download a fake wallet of the Google Play Store. It's disgusting. But when it comes to the Apple App Store, they're a little bit more scrutiny about what apps they allow to go on to their platform. Now, I couldn't find their app on the Apple App Store, but I did obviously find it on the Google Play Store. And we've currently found about 5 or 6 apps that have managed to get themselves onto the Apple App Store. They've actually set up independent companies and fooled the Apple App Store. We've reported them, but nothing's happened. So anyway, the fact that this company doesn't have anything on the Apple App Store, from my opinion, when I did a search, that's just another red flag, which I wanted to share, which I didn't put in the blog, but I didn't think I needed to because there's so much information in here. So let's go. Violet's keen to know more. She's in the chat room. I assume you're a she. I presume that's Violet's a girl's name, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway, I've just killed that relationship. Sorry about that, Violet. So here I am. There's my video. So if you do want to find this, you can find the link to this very blog in the description of the video you're watching right now. You can also find a join button where you're welcome to join the YouTube channel. I have memberships from $1 a month. You don't really get a hell of a lot extra by joining. It's just your way of supporting me. And obviously, if you're on my website, you can actually support me anytime just by clicking the support button or buy me a cup of coffee on the right-hand side of my website. Now, if you have been scammed, I'm sorry to hear it. I've just been corresponding with somebody who's been scammed out of $16,500, and they were hoping that I'd be able to recover their money. Unfortunately, I don't like to give people false hope. But this particular person said, well, actually, I did transfer the money using my bank, and I think that might be a saving grace. But then he said the bank restricted them from doing a transaction of $16,500, so he decided to do it in smaller lots, in $5,000 lots, to get the money out of the bank. So that may not be a good thing. But this is the sort of stories I get every day. People often chat to me. I spend most of my day going back and forth with people, helping them with information. And that's what I have my express chat for. So if you want to talk to me like that, you can book my time, and this helps pay for me to do this. And also you can sponsor a review if you want me to look at some opportunity you think you have to invest in. Or if you've stuffed up and you want some advice on what you can and can't do, then go and click on a support session. So just so you know how that works, when you click on that button, it takes you off to here and you see a very staunch looking Danny. You can pay me $50 or you can pay me more if you really want to support it. This week, I actually did get a $100 donation just from some kind person that wanted to support me. Those type of people really do keep the wolves away from the door. So let me show you what we found. This is actually quite a big blog. This is probably, I didn't count the words, but I'm guessing about 10, maybe even 12,000 words. So we're going to get stuck straight into it. So what I'm going to do, first of all, make it big enough so we're all in the right screen and you can see the words. And then we'll go through it and I'll tell you what we found. This is actually quite eye-opening because at first glance, if you're not really, let's say, got an eye for scams or people that are trying to bamboozle you with big words, then you want to listen up here because this is really important. So let's get into it. Now, the word Morizon, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, Velvet. Oh, you are a girl. That's good. Is this the right way? Is it Morizon? Have I said that right? Or is it...
Morizon presents itself as a bold new vision for global finance, a profit-sharing ecosystem uniting payments, real estate, crypto, and community development. The website is slick, the words sound inspirational, and the numbers look impressive.
Yeah, isn't it funny? Profit-sharing ecosystem. Isn't that what everyone wants? Of course we do. That's what you do. You're selling something that everyone wants, and you also have to create that fear of missing out. Now, we did have in the video, if you do really think about listening to this, do go back to this video here. And they thought I was out of the room, and they had people coming in for support, and people were saying that they go to the support desk and put support tickets in and get crickets. One guy said he deposited money into his credit card and it turned up on his back of the office, and he actually got more money than he put in, and he was just being honest, letting them know. But as I said, it's a 6-hour stream. But if you go to the section here, 2 hours in, it actually lasted for oh my goodness, we talked to them for 2 hours, and I can't even think of it, nearly 3 hours. But it was a really intense conversation. It was one of my old-fashioned style reporting. But let's go to paragraph number 2.
This investigation exposes a tangled network of websites, conflicting jurisdictions, and empty promises that mirror classic MLM-style Ponzi operations we've seen many times before.
It is. But behind all the marketing talk, the evidence paints a very different picture. Is a paragraph I missed. Now, is it Morizon? Imagine it's pronounced like Horizon. Morizon. Is that probably it, eh? Morizon. Morizon Network of Domains. The Morizon Network of Domains. Now, we actually went through and I found 3 domains, and just before I went live, I found a 4th one, so I had to add a little bit extra in there. So Morizon Empire currently operates across 4 active websites, each designed to reinforce the illusion of a fully fledged financial fintech ecosystem. Doesn't that sound impressive? So your first one you've got is Morizon Hub. Let's have a look at that one, just so you familiarize you with them. So if it loads, big demand, takes a while to load these websites, and a little boy waits. So I said in the video, you make claims that you're in 10 plus countries, 14 plus offerings, 200 plus active agents, and 20 million transactions. That's what they claim. Now, they reckon they've only got 3,000 members, and it sounds like people are struggling. So when I said that claim, they said, where'd you get that information from? And I go, well, it's off your website, I thought. But there's the evidence. I don't know if you were there listening to that one, Velvet, when it happened. But this is basically a very, don't forget, we showed you a video of Clayton Ford 2 years ago when I busted the scam. So this scam, in my opinion, has actually been getting better and better and better all the time, and they've just been putting more and more shit on their website. Next one, Morizon Pay. This was where they said 27 merchant fee cash back. And all of a sudden, if you read the small print, it's actually said 27% of their, what do they say? They said it's misleading because you think you're going to get 27% cash back, but it's actually 27% of the profits they make cash back. But that didn't fit on one line, so they had to use other words. It was cricket. And then you've got Morizon card, and this one looks really good. They haven't got your name on the card there, and they've even got up. If you look at it closely, you can see snow going upwards. I presume that's snow. But there, it's more than just join the movement. And you click on join. I didn't even look at this. Does it go off to another website? Welcome back, Danny. Now, they said to me that I wasn't allowed to be in the Zoom meeting, but anybody can join. And they ask you to do KYC details. Please do not do KYC details with this company. They will sell your data. And that's what a lot of these companies do. But do you really want to click on here and upload a photo of your passport, your driver's license, your national HD to a scam, and then wonder what you do and how you get that information back? Never, ever, ever, ever do KYC details for a company like this. You will just lose your identity, and they will use it, or they will sell it, more importantly. Right, but they've got all the buzzwords. They've got a lot of software. They've had 2 years to actually advance this system. So that is the third website. Claims to provide UK IBAN accounts and Mastercard debit cards to customers. Then you go to Morizon support. Well, the name says it all, really. And there you go. You log in. I suppose I can log in with my password, I assume. Well, let's just try that just for shits and giggles. How do I do that, Danny? Oh, I have to go to... Oh, I'm just curious to see whether I can use the same password. Hold up 1 minute. Oh, there it is. I've got it right here. Don't look at my password. Okay, let's go to Morizon support. I'll go here, put that password in there. I'll go my username. Let's just see if I can use the same username. Sign in. Oh, failed login. So I have to sign up to use the Morizon Hub support system. Alrighty. Functions as a supposed customer service hub, yet offers no verified company registration, no corporate contact, no transparent. Now, the real bad thing about this, you look at this page here. If I was sent here, how do I know that somebody hasn't set up? This is a bank, remember, or this is a credit card company. How do I know somebody hasn't set up a screen to get my login details? How do I know this is actually associated, that's a better word, Danny, with Morizon support? I have no idea. So why would this be standalone? This should have all the hallmarks underneath here, basically warning people, telling people where they are, verifying the ownership of that domain and that system. Because you could be logging in here thinking that you're logging into the system. And I don't even know whether Morizon support is actually their support or some other bogus person that's trying to scam people. Now, why would a company have 4 domain names to run one website? What are they trying to do? This is what they do. They pivot, because we're going to have a go at removing all these domain names. We're going to ask the Terminator to terminate their contract. And he needed some evidence. And this is the evidence that we will provide the authorities when they ask, why do we want to remove these domain names? Right. Taken together, these... I'll actually read this paragraph because it's a bit of a waffly mothball.
Taken together, these interconnected sites create an image of scale and legitimacy. But the fragmented domain structure also raises serious questions about why a single company needs multiple overlapping brands to deliver one financial product line. In the world of unregulated fintech, such patterns often signal risk compartmentalization, data segregation, or an attempt to evade cross-jurisdictional accountability.
Now, I'm going to show you something. If you go to podcast, what have we got? Podcast. That's not really good, Danny. Hold it. 1 minute, please call it. I'm just going to put that over there. Podcast. Right. I'm going to show you something. Okay. So podcast. Here we go. Podcast. So if you go to podcast, .de heck, you can see that as an independent website. And if I change that middle name podcast to, I think, support, I'm not even sure if I've got this. Support. Oh, that's interesting. Support. Target. Proof of concept. Interest. So somebody's actually managed to use a subdomain takeover. That's amazing. So that must be because I don't even know what is in there. I'm going to ask them, what's this? Oh, I might get the Terminator. What's this? How did this happen? How did this happen? I think I got hacked. So this is interesting. But this is a really good this is a really good, clever thing here. So this is my domain name and support.heck. Now, support.heck, my domain name is actually just porting to another website that's got a page that's been hacked. Now, I've set that up years ago, and I haven't never, ever gone there. However, that shows you how secure a subdomain can be, because you can run a whole website under that domain name. And if you change the word link, you can go link, or you can go links. And so what I'm getting at here, guys, if I go links, you'll find my link tree thing that I have, right? But what I'm getting at here, all these 4 domain names that you see could have been ran as subdomains under one master domain name, including the support. This is bad. This is bad, 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 having 4 domain names going after 4 different places. You don't need to. You use subdomains. That's what a professional company would do. And this is not a professional company.
Taken together, these interconnected sites create an image of scale and legitimacy. But the fragmented domain structure also raises serious questions about why a single company needs multiple overlapping brands to deliver one financial product line. In the world of unregulated fintech, such patterns often signal risk compartmentalization, data segregation, or an attempt to evade cross-jurisdictional accountability.
Yeah, so it's a bit weird, really. I know if you're going to put it in the Apple App Store, you've got to have, uniformness. I've seen it with people, it's a long-winded story, that one there. That's interesting. Yeah, they did. Well, I'm just going to say to my, actually, I'm live on the internet at the moment, but I'm discussing this. I think it goes off to a subdomain. It must go off to some software that I don't manage anymore, and they've managed to hack into that. So I'll have to have a closer look to see who that actually goes to. But interesting. I didn't know, but somebody managed to get into one of my websites and hack. I'm continuously under attack, which is really amazing. Like, my site is protected by Google Project Sealed, but obviously a subdomain like that is actually not, because it goes off to a different website, even though it's mine. But somebody has managed to provide me some place to do something, and they've managed to get in there. So that's why it's great having subdomains for different areas of your website. Quite professional. Anyway, this is the funny one. So all of those websites, maybe not the support one, all go off to this address here. So we clicked on that address, and when you go to that address, it goes to a mall. Now you might think, okay, so why does Morizon actually go off to a mall? They are alleging that they're in the mall. That's what they said. But the number is 40A. So they reckon that they're in 40A. So what we did is we looked here, and we went in here, and I think we can do this. Oh, no, we've done it wrong now. Hold up. 1 minute, please, caller. And we couldn't find an actual office. Oh, there it is. That's exactly what I wanted. So you come down here, and you go up here enough. Oops, hold it. Oops, oh my goodness, what are we doing? Oh, Street View, more details. Let's go back to here. Can I go in there? Can I double click in there? How do I do that, Danny? Hold up. 1 minute, please, caller. Oh, let's see if we can do this again. Right. So if you go and zoom up, that's better. Have I got that right? Have I got the right address? I might have the wrong address. Oh, I think I've stuffed up. Oh, goodness me. I'm going to go back, click on here, and let's see if I can get the view. I want to get Street View. How do I click on that? I wanted to get the map. I did it earlier on. Promise you. Let's go here. Can we click? Share. How do we do views? Street View 360s videos. Oh, here it is over here now. Oh, they've changed it, have they? Recent views say, oh, I'll just try it again. I might stuff this up, but let's have a look. So we're going to go, I don't want the man. I don't want the man. I want the Street View. Is that it working? I'm inside. Oh, that's where they operate out of. Okay, well, I'm going to stuff that up, aren't I? So I'm not going to do that again. Let's have a look. So my point was, we went in there. Oh, there it is there. Now, this is it. So theoretically, if I zoom up carefully, yes, I've got it right now. All right, let's see. Now, here you can see that all these other companies, now they were telling me in the heated Zoom meeting that we had today that this is their office and they operate in here. And they said there's many offices in there. So the office that they gave is 40A. Now, everyone else in here who isn't a financial company has named their shop where they are. So this is just a post box. This is nothing. And that they're claiming that they are sharing it with a supermarket or a post office. It is the drop-off point. So if they've got offices, we want to see photos of your offices at that location. And we want you to do a walkthrough and a video to show us your office. That's what we'd like to see, because at the moment, having a random address is a telltale sign. We always get this picture and we go here and go, what the hell is that? So the next thing is their company. So we went and checked out their company registration and we found the UK registration. And I went through here and I started going to filing history. Oh, they have got filing histories. They're a real company. That means they're legitimate. You go to people and there was only one person's name on who owns the company. One officer, which is really, really weird. I didn't actually click on that. You can actually click on that sometimes and you can see they own other things. So then we checked out this address, the 22 address. Now this address, Clayton Ford, and what was the other guy? I've forgotten who it was now. I did have it on the tip of my tongue, but he was I'll probably remember it halfway through the video and blurt it out. But this office here is used by multiple companies as a location. And it's like the registered agent's address, like every person that has an accountant in the same building. Because this was like Clayton Ford, and there was another friend of his that were heavily in Hyperverse, and they all used the same address and the same register to register the companies. So if you went looking for the company, you would find this picture here and this box. And we've been here before. We keep going back to this and go, oh, not another company that's registered to this. So this could be an accountant address, but it's definitely not the actual address of the company. So it's very confusing. If you lose your money, who do you look up and where do you go? So let's go to the next part.
They also reference an offshore entity, Morizon Group F.Z.C., supposedly registered in the UAE free zone of Ras Al Khaimah, Rakaz, with license number 170,283/6. No public record of that license currently exists.
Now, I know UAE, it's hard for us to get any details, anything like that, but you would think that they would have some sort of register or some sort of proof to prove it. We couldn't find it. Maybe they can. And we have written them a right of reply and we've asked them for those details. But we've got surprised what they come back and said to us when we asked for that. Let's go.
This multi-domain setup is a classic sign of a rebranding-ready fraud network, allowing operators to pivot quickly when one domain is exposed or taken down.
Oh, now I know where it goes. Reamaze. That's where we used to do our support with. What a crack up. So Reamaze that's where we used to do our support with. Hold up. I'm just going to go there. I'm doing other work. I will remove the subdomain from my domain name records. That should fix it. I can't believe it's kind of been hacked. Right. Interesting. Oh, well, that's good. So Reamaze was a bit of software I used to use for my online support. But that's amazing that's happened. So promises that the DeFi reality. Morizon websites make extraordinary claims. 27% profit sharing. Okay, so they're only going to share the profit if you read the small words, not the actual 20%. So if you spend $10,000 on your Visa, you're not going to get a cashback of $2,700. But if they make 3% on that transaction, then they're going to share 27% of the profit. But you don't see that when you go to the website. In fact, you look at it and go, oh my God, this is too good to be true. Hence why they're using it, I believe, in my opinion. Of course, every service, and they've got 14 services going by what their website said. All right, 27% cash back on merchants using Morizon Pay. So that means if you go out there and sell a $400 or $500 card, now I have not looked up how much these cards were, but when I was in the support room, people were saying that they purchased one for him and one for them and one for them, and they were talking around hundreds of dollars. It could have been $400, not exactly sure, but I think what that is that's why people are, it's kind of like not MLM, but it's reward people for selling them. It's another word for MLM and multi-level marketing. But you're going to get 27% if you sell a card. So you sell one for $400, you're going to get $110 back. That's the way I read it. I could be wrong. Do your own due diligence. This is just my opinion and my due diligence. 200 active agents. Well, who are those active agents? We would love to know. And 20 million transactions. Well, that's a tall claim. Maybe you can back that up with some figures on a spreadsheet would be great. Operations in over 100 countries. Does that mean you can prove that your 3,000 people that have signed up for a card, is what I heard, are scattered over 100 countries? Love to see evidence of that. UK regulated and I love this part, FCA connected. Do you know why they say connected? Because they reckon that there's a bank that has allowed them to get a white labeled credit card system. I believe that's their connection. That doesn't mean they're FCA approved. They just mean they're connected to somebody who's got. Is that the way I read it? That's the way I read it. Well, that's what I found on their own websites. Yet none of these statements are backed by verifiable data, regulation numbers, or audited reports. All you need to do if you've got a company like this that's doing so damn well is to get a big company to audit your books and show everyone that you've got every ticked box. That's what you need to do. They appear designed purely to build credibility and attract early adopters before the inevitable, I can't say that word, let's say that word. Inevitable collapse. Boy, it's glad I've got a backup speaker. The 27% profit share, a familiar Ponzi trick in my opinion and also on my blog. Though one of the most suspicious features is the guarantee of 27% return, whether presented as a profit sharing or a cashback fee. The wording shifts slightly between pages, so we couldn't quite make it clear. So on Morizon Hub, 27% of company profits are shared with the community. I presume that's because you sell the credit card. Now, on Morizon Pay, the merchants get 27% cashback from profits we earn on your merchant account. Okay, so that's confusing. In both cases, no transparent accounting system is shown. Okay, that's not surprising for a Ponzi scheme scam, as I call it. There's no audible statements, no published revenue sources, and no identifiable trustees managing their supposed community funds. So it's anarchy out there. Just give us your money and trust us, bro. And you should have heard the fast talkingness of these two people. It's comical. And if we get time, I'll play some more of it. But let's stay focused on the blog. So this 20% number is too specific, too generous to be what's that? I'm going to read the next paragraph. Give myself a breather.
Coincidence. It's the same psychological bait used by countless Ponzi operators to convince investors they are participating in a legitimate, community-driven venture.
Yeah, oh, there it is. So there we go. I just went not now. But look at that. So if you went to this website and you would read that as 20% merchant fee cashback. Okay, so now I have to think, what is a merchant fee cashback? What is a merchant? I'm confused. But all I see is I'm going to get cashback 27%. That's how the brain works, and that's why they use that stupid shit. Just saying so. The UK front and the UK backdoor. Yeah, a UAE backdoor, I should say. Morizon structured attempts to straddle the two legal systems. In the UK, Morizon Limited claimed to be UK regulated while offering IBAN. I don't actually know what IBAN is, but I'll make out I do. Accounts. Okay, the debit cards through their alleged partnership of Optus Cards UK. So they're claiming that they are associated with this card. Now, I searched for nearly 20 minutes trying to find any claim where this company claims that they have any association with Morizon. Now, they may do. I don't know. But I'm just saying, when I searched, I couldn't find it. It's all the other way around. If you search for Optus and Morizon, you keep finding it on Morizon's website claiming they are, but nowhere do we find that this company is associated with them. And I'm not saying they're not, I'm just saying I couldn't find it. So if you guys in the right reply that I've asked you for, please do answer those questions. The UAE arm. Now this is the funniest one. What is Morizon Group F.Z.C? Claims oversight of RAKEZ and the UAE Central Bank. Well, I couldn't find any reference to that anywhere. It seems like a mystery, something or other. Neither regulators list Morizon or any related entities as authorised. This dual, I'm going to have to read this. I'm trying to read, but I do have a reading level of 9-year-old, and I'm proving it sometimes.
Dual jurisdiction model is a well-known evasion tactic, giving the illusion of compliance, while placing the operation outside the reach of both countries' financial watchdogs.
Yeah, and that's the thing that really got me. Their WhatsApp number is a +44 number, so it's UK. They were operating out of some other country at the time. And also, there's a whole lot of other things that just don't add up here. It's it smells too Ponzi-like, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so let's carry on. Fake partnership and borrowed legitimacy is what I'm calling it. This is my blog, and I can have my opinion.
The websites repeatedly name-drop Optimus Cards UK Limited, a real FCA regulated company, and Pearl Property Stages, a legitimate interior design business.
Right. So what I will do is I will contact these people and ask them what their association is with Morizon Bank and what services they are providing, because on their website, they're making sort of quite a few unsubstantiated claims, in my opinion. However, there's no evidence or press release confirming that either company has any relationship with Morizon. So I'll do that later, and I might do an amendment on the blog if I find they do, and I'll make sure I label exactly what relationship they have with that company. Scammers often exploit small legitimate firms' names to build credibility. They do, because this is what I do for a living. If Optus, am I saying that right?
Optimus
and Pearl Property, what is it called? Pearl
Property Stages
are unaware of this usage, it's clear Morizon is misrepresenting partnerships to build investor confidence. And this is a telltale sign. I see this all the time. I can look, you just don't operate a company like these two people that we had in the Zoom meetings. If you go back to the Zoom meeting just for a minute, we went up to about here, and I think we were yelling at each other at this point.
To empower community. So we're not just a standalone project. We are a banking institution. That's what we're on the road to be doing.
So they're saying that just there, they're saying they are a banking institution. Now, everybody in my chat room was saying they're not a bank. So here, he's just said he's a banking institution. Is that right?
And so it's not. I know in the beginning it looks like I said, with the BC lifestyles, you know.
Would I get a reward?
No. So what John was explaining is that one of our programs, we've got an ecosystem, but one program is called a community profit sharing program. So we help communities. It could be a church, it could be a...
And they didn't name any of those charities they're talking about. Now, this guy was quite funny because he was quite nice to my face, but when they come back, they actually kicked me out of the meeting. But I had multiple sessions open, so I didn't lose any of the meeting, and I could hear them talking about me like I wasn't there. It was really hilarious. And he was a bit two-faced, to be honest. He was quite nice and explained things quite well, and he was just an investor, this guy. But it went on for quite a long time. It got to the end part where I think they were yelling at me. Let's see if I can find it. Where was it? I don't know if we need to listen to this, but it was one of the most heated discussions I've had for a wee while.
What they're trying to do, as far as I'm concerned, is that don't pack them shelves. I'm not disrespecting anybody that has packed shelves, but I'm just talking about that's the level you want to be at.
Poor people.
Then just do that. Don't try and step up, because
here we go. She's going to repeat what I've just put in the chat.
John and Amanda, please, like, don't stoop to their level. Just
don't stoop to my level.
Just silence your naysayers with your
naysayers. Oh, I love that thing. But anyway, we had an hilarious time in there. The Avengers are at full. We had about 30 odd people at one point listening to us. It was really quite exciting, but that's why I sort of got my A into G, and I wanted to get this blog out there and get this one done before I go to bed tonight.
The community development narrative, like many fraudulent ecosystems, Morizon uses a social impact disguised to soften its sales pitch. They claim that profits fund hospitals, schools, and local infrastructure through a community development fund, yet there's no charity registration, no photos, no evidence of any real-world projects, and no breakdown of where money actually goes.
They seem to think it's okay to smoke and mirror these things and make these claims, but they've got no, like, where's their charities, number and all this sort of stuff if they're doing that sort of stuff. Okay, let's go.
This doing good while earning storyline has become a common hallmark of moral camouflage Ponzi schemes designed to appeal to people who want to believe their money is helping others.
Yeah, right. The next thing, we're blasting through this one. 27% cashback to merchants, unrealistic and unregulated. Here we go, and this is why.
On MorizonPay.com, the company targets UK business owners, including high-risk industries like crypto, gambling, adult sites, and CBD, promising to match or reduce existing merchant fees and still give 27% back monthly.
Wow. Yeah. So, yeah, that speaks for itself, doesn't it?
In legitimate payment processing, merchant fees average 1-3% per transaction. Giving away 27% of net profit monthly would annihilate margins unless new money continuously enters the system.
Yeah, it's unrealistic. So 20%, this is, it just eats away in your profits. I don't know if you've ever had a shop before. Let's say you buy a product for $100 and you sell it for $200, and then you decide to give a 20% discount on a product. That literally comes straight off the top line. And that means that now that product that you were selling for 200, you're only going to be selling it for 160, and you're only going to make $60 profit. And then somebody comes into you and go, oh, if you discount it this much, can you discount it 30%? Now you're going to be only making $40 profit. It's the same deal with these 27% net profit monthly it would just be, it doesn't feed itself. So the only way it can sustain itself is by going out there and selling new cards. These new cards, they feed the monster. It's the same as a Ponzi scheme. They're using new investor money to pay old investors for referrals. It's all about referrals.
This isn't a sustainable business model. It's cash flow recycling, where one client's deposit funds another's cash back. That's the definition of a Ponzi mechanism.
I think I just said that. Anyway, let's go. Contradictional.
Contradictory claims and multiple legal identities.
Oh, yeah, got confusion. Across the website, Morizon claimed to be a UK financial technology company, a UAE licensed fintech ecosystem, a Hong Kong, Celsius, and US-based corporation. I used ChatGPT and I chucked everything in there, and that's what ChatGPT says. Now, if I got that wrong, sue ChatGPT. Each site repeats similar disclaimers, but the supposed license numbers don't trace to any official registry. We couldn't find them. Please supply them. We'd love to see them. There's no evidence of filing under any claim jurisdiction. We've just got a husband and wife, but I presume they're married. They've got two different names, so we found out afterwards. They didn't give me their names. They were called Morizon. So I found their real names because of a magazine article, which I found them in there. The multi-jurisdictional confusion isn't the mark of a global enterprise. It's a red flag for jurisdictional evasion and regulatory camouflage. Wow, that was a mouthful and I managed to get it out. Well, at least I hope I did. The Compliance Theatre, UK regulated in name only. Let's have a listen.
Morizon's newest site rollout is a masterclass in regulatory theatre, packed with professional-looking PDFs, buzzwords, and official-sounding policy documents that mimic legitimate fintech compliance, but without any verifiable oversight license or regulator-issued credentials.
Yeah, nothing. You getting crickets? I'm getting crickets.
The homepage repeatedly claims that Morizon is a UK-regulated financial services provider offering full IBAN accounts, Mastercard debit cards, SWIFT and SEPA transfers, and bank-grade security, yet there is no trace of Morizon Limited, Morizon Group F.Z.C, or any affiliated entity on the Financial Conduct Authority, FCA, register, nor is there a disclosed BEAN sponsor, ME license, or regulated banking partner.
Now, funny story, there was a company out there that was claiming to be on the Financial Conduct Authority website, and to prove it, they gave you their own website address, and it was something like, I've forgotten what it was. I might even try and find it just for a laugh, but I'm pretty sure it was FDA, and then it was -org.com. Yeah, it probably doesn't work anymore. So it's fca-org.com, and that was a website where people could go, a fake website, I should say, and you could search for their company number, and it would come up. And the whole website looked like the FCA website, I should say, and it was fake. It was unreal. I'm not saying that's the case here, but if you're a financial company, why aren't you in that register? Why aren't you FCA? And if you are, please show it. I would love to see it, and then I might have to do a big retraction or an amendment to the blog.
Every aspect of their marketing reads like a bank in disguise. They promise instant UK IBANs, direct debits, standing orders, faster payments, and multi-currency accounts, followed by physical and virtual Mastercards launching 60 days after IBAN rollout. They even list Optimus Payment Solutions as their core banking partner. but failed to provide a regulatory reference number, country of incorporation, or any evidence that Optimus has authorized Morizon to issue accounts or cards on its behalf.
Right, so I'm definitely going to write to that company, which I should have done before I did the blog, and naughty me, and see exactly what their connection is with them. If they claim that, we've got to find out whether that's true.
Dozens of glossy official compliance PDFs attempt to build credibility, anti-bribery and corruption, consumer duty, complaints policy, safeguarding and AML audit framework, vulnerable customers policy, all using genuine FCA terminology like SMF16, SYSC, and DISP, but none provide audit trails, author signatures, or certificate IDs that would prove regulatory supervision. The documents even assign roles such as Head of Compliance, ML, RO, TFSF Ventures, Dubai, and Consumer Duty Champion, yet no such individuals are identifiable through Companies House, the FCA directory, or LinkedIn.
Yeah. Now, interesting enough, you come to the bottom, they kept bringing up this page, and because their website said this, I was meant to believe it. Basically a disclaimer, and they were talking about their number and their license number. But that license number, if you search that license number, can't find any reference to that being official. And if it wasn't meant to be an official thing, like this is our license number, you should be able to look up, like your car registration, you should be able to go in there and look that up. So that was one website. Then I think we found not this website, it must have been one of the other ones. So I just have to remember where I'm up to, because I want to find this, because one of the websites that we looked at, it might have been the card, when we had a closer look. So I prepared this blog, and then I realized there was another, yes, so this is the one here. So then I found all this legal and compliance. And no doubt, if you go through each of these and click on them, for example, you get one of these, you get a pop-up. And this is the anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financially, and it's just fluff. It's just literally fluff. So I put all this into ChatGPT and went through it and asked it to give me a heads up. So they can do the same and find, what ChatGPT is, but this is nothing. This is just fluff. Fluff, fluff, fluff. And who the heck is going to sit here and read through this like it means something? The type of people that they're going after don't do due diligence. They don't read this stuff. They don't put this stuff into places like ChatGPT or Grok and ask it what it means and what they're covered for. Like, how do you know your money's secure, and all this sort of carry on. So I've had a field day today going through this website, and I definitely wanted to share that with you. So let's see where I'm up to. Hopefully we can find it. Let's hopefully we'll find the right place without doubling up. That's going to be the problem. Dozens of glossy official website. Yeah, I think I think we've gone past it now. We have 27 money amounts back. Claims. No, we're catching up nicely. Yeah, so this was the real big part, that after I discovered what I said just here, this legal and compliance stuff, I grabbed every single word of it, put it into ChatGPT, which I'm proud to be able to use. Being dyslexic, I'd never be able to write something like this. And then this is what it's obviously come up with. And they're using all the big terms and all the fluff. Now, we've mentioned that 60 days Mastercard launching after rollout. I'm going to have to read this because I'm not sure.
Every aspect of their marketing reads like a bank in disguise. They promise instant UK IBANs, direct debits,
we have read that
standing
one.
orders.
All right, so let's see. And I think we even might have done that one again, but we'll have a listen.
Dozens of glossy official compliance PDFs attempt to build credibility, anti-bribery and corruption, consumer duty, complaints policy, safeguarding and AML audit framework, vulnerable customers policy, all using genuine FCA terminology like SMF16, SYSC, and DISP, but none provide audit trails, author signatures, or certificate IDs that would prove regulatory supervision. The documents even assign roles such as Head of Compliance, ML, RO, TFSF
we have read that
Ventures,
one. We won't do that again, I promise. I'll stay focused. Here we go. We'll go to the next paragraph.
Morizon also advertises PCI DSS Level 1 and ISO 27001 certified status without naming an assessor or publishing a certificate number, an omission that would be unthinkable for any truly certified payment processor. Their supposed Shufti Pro integration is invoked as proof of identity verification, yet Shufti Pro acts purely as a third-party kike vendor, not a regulatory body.
Yeah, that's right. So they outsource their KYC details a lot of the time. So you don't know exactly where your KYC details are going, but especially if it's outsourced, how do we know who's actually doing it? So maybe that's why they put that there. Maybe they need to have all this stuff in order. They want to say, this is who we use for our KYC detail. we could go to those people and check and verify that your data is protected and safe and not sold to other people, which I'm sure if you go through the terms and conditions, you're going to find that they'll say yes to everything you want to hear.
Even more troubling is their profit-sharing pitch, which combines unregulated e-money activity with an investment-style return. They claim to share 27% of all profits with the community, turning ordinary account users into de facto investors, a structure that would ordinarily require securities or collective investment registration. The company calls this true profit sharing, not a rewards program, but provides no financials, no audit, and no independent attestation to show that 27% of anything is actually distributed.
Yeah, how do you know you're actually getting paid what they claim you're going to get paid? It's just trust me, bro. We're going to give you some money. But what they're really doing is selling. I don't know how much their cards are, but let's say they sell a $300 or $400 card. They're going to give you a good chunk of that back as a backhander. That's what the rewards have been relabeled as. That's my opinion. Could be wrong. Prove me wrong otherwise.
Morizon's legal and compliance portal looks impressive at first glance, but closer inspection reveals a pattern: copied regulatory templates, self-authored policies, and unverifiable credentials, all designed to project legitimacy rather than prove it. The site's staged launch schedule Phase 1 IBANs in November 2025, Phase 2 Mastercard within 60 days, is reinforced by generic testimonials from AJ, Alex Johnson, PP Priya Patel, and JM, James Mitchell, all conveniently intraceable.
Okay, so just for shits and giggles, let's go search and see what James Mitchell says. Oh, there's Jane Mitchell. Jane Mitchell is he's a basketball player. Is that the right guy? Who the hell would know? So don't put stupid names like that in there. Let's go search for the next guy now. So James Mitchell, is he the guy you're talking about? This person here. So this lady, is this the lady that's giving you the thing? Who is she? Okay, cool. Oh, she's the campaign beef NZ, something to do with Barefoot and Thompson. Who knows? Who would know? So you just put random names in there. Who the hell would do that? Do you see your bank putting references to people on their website? Danny DeHeck says this is the best bank ever. These sort of testimonials are just stupid.
In short, Morizon presents the appearance of a fully regulated UK fintech, while operating outside any publicly confirmed regulatory perimeter, until the company produces.
Yeah, so verifiable FCA authorisation, evidence of its BIN sponsor or e-money license, authentic PCI, DSS and ISO 27001 certificates, and audited proof of its 27% profit model. Its operation remains unsustainable at best and highly misleading at worst. So the compliance summary. So if you followed all that, you did really, really well. I applaud you for staying with me. But after reading that whole line of gobbledygoo, because that was a big paragraph to load into ChatGPT, I asked it for a summary to make life easier. This is the summary.
Morizon's polished compliance facade, spread across morizonpay.com, morizonhub.com, mymorizoncard.com, and morizonsupport.com, looks convincing on the surface, but every layer collapses under scrutiny. The company borrows the language of regulation without the substance, using recycled documentation, unverifiable credentials, and a token profit-sharing model to project trust. In reality, there's no proof of licensing, no independent audits, and no clear line between customer funds and corporate revenue. Like many scams disguised as fintech innovation, Morizon appears more interested in building confidence than building compliance.
Yeah, there's nothing there. It's not a real company. And the people, the way they were swearing and cursing, they even got me going. Well, I think they got me going first. I was yelling down the phone at them. It was actually quite funny. I haven't done that for a while.
The missing team and the invisible leadership. Although the company markets itself as having a team of experts in banking, finance, and technology, public filings list only one director, Amanda Joseph, with no visible executive team, compliance officer, or technical leadership disclosed anywhere online. This absence of supporting personnel raises questions about whether Morizon Limited is a functioning fintech operation or simply a single director shell company fronting a wider and regulated network.
So the real funny thing in here, people were actually coming in, asking questions. They were saying things. It was actually friggin' hilarious. I don't know.
Yeah, if
Smoke
you
and mirrors comes to mind.
Go through Morizon Hub or Infinity More, because there's a ticketing system in there also. Send us a ticket so that we can look into that and get that fixed immediately.
Yeah,
That's very important. Imagine if the whole company had that problem.
Which one do you recommend? Should I try Morizon Hub or Vintor? Which one should I send it to? And do you recommend the most?
Do the Morizon Hub. Do the Morizon Hub. And then select Infinity Mall and just explain what the issue is. And then we'll hand it over to Steve.
We'll hand it over to Steve. So here's the guy that was asking the question. His name is MIA0032, which would mean to me that he was a 32th customer of theirs, still having problems, and he doesn't even know what hub to go to put his ticket in so that he can get support. Because if he went earlier on there, he was actually talking about how he's already done that and he hasn't had any support. Well, whoever it was in there was saying that they've waited and they never get any support. Then she admits that she's doing the support tickets and sees everything. And she goes, oh, we'll fix that one up really quick. It was just embarrassing for everyone even listening. So that was interesting. So yes, Amanda Joseph was the only person named on the UK registration.
Anonymous leadership in a company handling financial transactions is a major indicator of fraud risk and future exit potential. Once funds are collected, these operations typically vanish overnight, reappearing under a new name with the same web template.
Transit card comes to mind. I think Clayton Ford was also promoting that at one stage, and that's been rebranded so many times and stupid shit going on. Anyway, so then I did a bit of digging and I was trying to find out who actually owns this company. Who are these people that were in this Zoom meeting? This Brady bunch of people here who kept losing their connection because their internet connection wasn't stable. But we had them here, and then they'd be there, and then they had to turn their camera off. And then we accuse them of being in Nigeria because we know they don't have great internet there. But look at these two monkeys. Oh, here we go. Oh, just getting the sound going for when they kick me out.
Hey, I'm back, guys. Just had to use the loo.
Okay.
Hey,
Sorry.
it's all right. I've removed things from the chat.
No, we've removed them now. So that's
John Amanda, can I just say, like I said, if he's serious about getting some answers, some factual information, not opinion.
Not really.
You volunteered to, sit
I've
with
been
him,
kicked out, by the way. I'm not alone
to
longer
make
in
sure
the meeting.
everyone's educated.
Yeah, they kicked me out and they think that I'm not here still. This is really funny.
Both people on the call and globally, because you are a global company. It's Morizon Global. You offered that to him. I've heard about him before. Now he's come on board and he was just firing questions at you. He wasn't listening. Saying, okay, I
couldn't listen because they keep yelling at me, so it just turned into a yelling match. I even got down to the point where I was going, shut up, because they just wouldn't talk, I couldn't even pause. They would just keep talking. Every time I talk, they just keep talking. And it was like, oh my God. That's why after this 3 hours of yelling at them, I went into this blog. So this blog is open for them to reply to. And you wait until you see their response once I've already sent them the questions that I wanted them to answer, and I'll read the questions. But here's a self-promotion. Now, this house that they're selling, these Albany villas, whatever that word is, I can't read it. They aren't real. This is we're going to invest in real estate down the future. None of this seems to exist. It was amazing. So I found this. And it was in a magazine called, get this, whoop, here we go.
The UK Black Business Guide published a feature on Ebony Villas and Elixir Heights, projects promoted under the Morizon brand.
Yeah, so they use the Morizon brand, a media appearance with so this is what we got from reading that article. And this is how we found out who John is.
In July 2024, the UK Black Business Guide published a feature on Ebony Villas and Elixir Heights, projects promoted under the Morizon brand. The article described the company as a black-owned financial technology corporation founded by Amanda Joseph, CEO, and John Bennett, COO, allegedly based in the UK and of Caribbean descent.
I don't get this black-white thing. I'm not prejudiced at all, but it's just, it is like, imagine if I had a business and I go, it's a white-founded business. I don't get that, unfortunately. I just don't get it. But anyway, we had a look at their websites. These houses, as far as I'm concerned, don't exist. Once again, we've got lovely looking, this is where you can invest. Lots of royalty-free images. Everything's made up. And then you go to the next one, and you pretty much get the same website with different looks. See that same website development company, swoops, building overview, spaces remaining left. Let's go. 9,739 spaces remaining, Applications approved, 376. Well, I'd like some verification on those figures too. Thanks very much. I didn't actually see them when I was preparing it. Eligible countries. Now, we heard that it may not be open to everybody. Now, this is what I've got tipped off on after my after going through this. We found out more about it. Now, this could be virtual real estate, could be real real estate. I haven't done a deep dive into this. I don't really care. I don't really want to, but you can go in there and read all about it. But we did find out who John is, which is good because John's the other guy in the picture. Now, let's have a listen to the next paragraph.
It claimed that Morizon would build rent-free for life luxury African homes through its community profit-sharing programs. The language mirrored the same 27% profit share and community empowerment messaging already found on the Morizon websites.
Yeah, it mirrored so it was all hype and flabber. So I just wanted to show you this lovely couple. Here they are, back to back, Bonnie and Clyde. They should be holding the guns up like this. We'll take your money. Thanks very much. Alrighty, so that was quite exciting there. Well done, Danny. However, several red flags stand out. Let's have a look at the first one.
Company's house records show that Amanda Joseph, born February 1971, British, is the sole registered director and person with significant control of Morizon Limited, company number 13,822,157, incorporated the 30th of December, 2021. No other officers or shareholders are listed, and John Bennett, named in marketing materials as the COO, does not appear in any official filings.
So has John been a naughty boy? Sounds like the wife is actually doing all the control of the business.
The Ebenevillis.com and ElixirHates.com domains appear connected to the same network of Morizon branded sites, but contain no verifiable development plans, building permits, or independent project partners.
And we couldn't find them. Once again, could be wrong. That's why we asked for an amendment. So you can come down here and you can see that this didn't start until 2024. These domain names, this is on the Wayback Machine. We'll go back to 21. I assume this will be a placeholder for 2 years until they got around to it. So let's see. I can't even know. There it is. The first time the Wayback Machine actually looked at it. And we got site doesn't exist. Now we're going to jump forward. And let's see. So this will be, let's go 2024. And this was the first time, well, the second or third time that Wayback Machine actually managed to find anything when it archives every website on the internet. It's a great web service. If you want to, why that's loading, I'll show you how you can find that website. You can go to theheck.com. And if I've got a lot of sites that I use a lot, you can come down to what I call utilities. And in here, you'll see a lot of tips that I use when I'm doing my open source intelligence stuff. And there's some really good tips in there. So anyway, that's going to take a wee while. We might come back to that one so we don't keep you waiting. Anyway, so we found that these are obviously new. Maybe 2024 will be how new. And let's have a read of the next bullet point.
The feature reads more like paid marketing content than editorial journalism, offering no third-party verification of construction timelines or funding sources.
Yeah, now funny enough, I had another blog I did just earlier on. It was about this lady called Zion Global. Oh no, now I've done it. Oh, here we go. We're away again. And it's actually not the right blog. I did 2 blogs on this lady where she shut down her website, which is friggin' hilarious. But she also paid to be in this magazine called Income Opportunities. And you read these articles and you think, oh, they sound really, really good. But when we went through it, I'll have a look to see if we've still got a website. So we took down their websites, friggin' hilarious. We took down this website, friggin' hilarious. And we're going to take down, now notice that, Zion Global Net and zionicglobal.com, both those websites are now locked and they can't get them out. So then you go to, the 24 hours later, they went and registered a brand new domain name and they've got their website going again. We're in the process of shutting that one down as well. And I must say there was something funny that happened with this one. There was a guy that we met at the end. Hello, you there?
I said, no, you just keep me informed of what's going on.
So this guy here, we was talking to him. We stumbled into his Zoom meeting, and his Zoom meeting name was Smart. I finished up. He wouldn't tell me what he was actually. He wouldn't send me the link to the website so I could check out the opportunity he was trying to push. He was a nice enough fella, and then we found out that it was actually smarts.money, and we'd already taken his website offline, and here he is still trying to promote the product. It was ridiculous. Had a real fun day today. Anyway, just saying. So let's get into this. Yeah, so what we're doing is we're finding these articles that they write are not editorials. I've been in the New York Times, search for the crypto Ponzi scheme Avenger, read the 2-page printed edition in the paper. I had 4 maybe interviews. I think it was 3 or 4 interviews that were over an hour long with the journalist, and he wanted to get to know me about my quest to name and shame any individual running or promoting a Ponzi scheme or a scam. He came out with the name, the crypto Ponzi scheme Avenger, and that was the article that stands. These are what interviews are like. If also Bloomberg, 10-month investigation and a 20-minute documentary about Sam Lee, Shavis Anwar, and Hyperverse, and how that was a 10-month investigation. These guys are doing sponsored adverts to bamboozle you and go, look at me in the glossy magazine. It's just absolute criminal. PR strategies appear redesigned to target trust within a majority of faith-based communities. When Hyperverse took $1.9 billion from people, it was the scam that I did my apprenticeship on. They went after the Black African community and with religion, and it was disgusting. And that's why I do what I do. So it's let's carry on.
A tactic often used by international MLM and Ponzi operations to recruit through shared identity and social responsibility narratives.
So until tangible proof, real-world development, registered property assets, or verifiable leadership credentials emerge, Albany Villas, and I can't even read that name. I better get it read so I don't miss any words.
Ebony Villas and Elixir Heights should be viewed as extensions of the same unregulated Morizon ecosystem rather than legitimate real estate projects.
Right, so then after that, we did the right of reply. Listen to this.
Right of reply and the response from Morizon PDF are in line with journalistic fairness. I sent Morizon a formal right of reply email outlining 10 detailed questions about their company structure, partnerships, profit-sharing model, and regulatory oversight. The message was sent to all official contact addresses listed on their websites, offering them 7 days to respond. While no written reply was received, 2 short messages arrived via the company's WhatsApp contact number.
Right, so here we are. This was the letter. You can read it yourself later on. You can go download it. But I wrote to all the email addresses I could find on their websites and sent it off. And it's basically asking them 10 critical facts that I want to know before. And they can write the answers to these replies, and then I'll publish them on my website. So that's a copy of the email I sent, proof that I did do a right of reply. Now, what response do you think you'd get from 2 corporates that own a global website that is taking the world by storm in finance? Well, this is it. Enjoy this. This is what they wrote back.
Thank you for your message. Just the evidence we need to sue you. We were trying desperately to answer your questions on our Zoom and your channel, and we were told to shut up and had to endure your filthy language and being called scammers. But now you want us to respond to this silly message. I strongly suggest that you do not post this misinformation as it will damage yourself, not us. See you in court.
See you in court. Now, yesterday I was in court. I was in the Queenstown courthouse doing a guy had impersonated another company. I was told about it. He registered a domain name. He took the persona of somebody who owned a company that was very similarly named, and he tried to get a testimonial to a potential client. And then I published a blog about it. I went through the guy's website. I did a review. It's very much like I'm doing here. The judge didn't have a bar of removing my content because the guy had lied. He even admitted that he'd done wrong, but he still wanted the article removed. I don't have to remove my content. This is my opinion. I'm a reporter. I investigate and I tell you my findings. Now, when I go and do a right of reply like you've seen to these people and spend the time, took me about 5 minutes, to prepare a letter asking them, my name is Dandy DeHeck, an investigative journalist based in New Zealand. I have been featured in the New York Times, Bloomberg, The Guardian, for my work exposing financial fraud and unregulated investment schemes. I'm currently preparing a public article examining Morizon Group, blah, 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 and blah, 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 and blah, all the names I've got before publication. But anyway, I've published it anyway. But they've got the right to reply, but they've already responded. They have read it, and they've said, silly message. That's their words. This is what this guy that was in the New Zealand court yesterday said when he got my blog. He said he's currently overseas. It will take him a couple of months to read my article, and he said it was just comedy. Now he's in the courtroom trying to get it removed. These people, you think this is a silly message? See what happens when people search for Morizon Anyway, no documents, no company filings, no regulatory evidence was provided in response to the 10 questions. Instead, threats of legal action and the dismissive tone mirroring the same. What are they? Oh, I might as well get this one read to get this point home.
Intimidation tactics often used by unregulated financial promoters when confronted with legitimate scrutiny.
That's right. They usually point the finger at me. Oh, you're doing it for clicks. Yeah, I get that one all the time. You've got to come up with original content. We know about you. We searched and found you on the internet. We found an article that said that you were promoting OneCoin. And I go, that's written by a scammer. They published this horrible content. And I'm just going to show you what that's like, because I've actually started listing all the sites that I find. I actually found a few more yesterday. But people set up websites of hate because they don't like me exposing them. And it is actually like my wall of, what do you call it? Trophy. So fake journalist. Check out this. Was it this one? Listen to this one.
This is commentary based on public sources.
Oh, no,
Alleged recorded lines tied to Danny DeHeck promise to find your location, your numbers, and where your kids go to school.
Yeah, well, I have done that before. We'll go to all sorts of extents, so that's quite funny. This one here, I think this is the one I wanted to see. Look,
welcome to the Danny DeHeck podcast, the podcast for scamming and slandering without guilt.
Now, this guy that we went to court with yesterday printed out all these articles to show the judge that I was not liked on the internet. It just means you don't get flack unless you're over the target. What the heck? This is quite a good one. I'm dressed up like a bug. That's quite cool. This is a Danny DeHeck facts, and they've used all my own content, which is friggin' hilarious. What else have we got here? The Danny DeHeck facts. These are lovely videos that somebody set up ages ago. This guy here, well, he's been done for animal cruelty. There's a big article in here, and he's decided, I've already got 6 of his videos blocked from New Zealand, so it's no point reporting those. Fighting back. This is a lady that's been promoting 10, 20 different Ponzi schemes and scams, begging the internet to take me off to get rid of me.
I'm going to go ahead and see if I can share with you or to you what
I'll go back here.
Our names and our reputation to destroy everything that we have ever worked for.
That's exactly what I'm here to do. Look, here, look at this one. This one's called DeHeck. It's DeHeck Co, but the DeHeck's got 3 E's. So it's DeHeek.co, which is really, really cool. Anyway, so that's another one. And this was just published, I think, the 14th of October. These ones are pretty new. This one here, we've actually asked for this one to be removed 4 times, and this is the last article of 10 that they've got online. So we do sometimes go through and remove them. But this one here, I found out that this is DannyDeHeck.com, but it's got geek at the end. So if you can figure that out, it's quite cool. I found this one yesterday. This is quite funny. This is a flip deck. It's got everything. Here they are. Look at this. They're telling everyone that I'm part of something to do with whatever her name is, the queen of crypto. Then we found this one. This is sites.google.view.deheck, and you can read a one-pager about how wonderful I am. And what's this one here? This is another one called the Daily, is it Motion? Maybe Daily Movement. And this page has been, this one's gone. So we've got down one of those. So that's great. Unavailable. Mudrack, listen to people who complain, which is fantastic. So why don't I go and celebrate that and remove one of that Mudrack one. Mudrack. Is that Mudrack? Mudrack, there it is. So I can right click on that one, and that's one gone. Woohoo! We'll be back tomorrow, but that's one less one. So anyway, anonymous tip following, what is that one there? Did we say that? Yeah, so no documents. Okay, so anonymous tip following, what? Oh yes, anonymous tip. This is great. So after I got off the live today, I got an anonymous tip from somebody, and this is what it said.
Shortly after the live discussion where Morizon representatives joined a public Zoom session, I received an anonymous email from an observer who claimed to have followed the event. The message contained opinions about the group's motives and tone during the meeting. While I won't repeat those remarks in full, the correspondence suggested there were underlying social and ideological dynamics driving the recruitment style and community framing used by Morizon. It's...
What did I get to there? Morizon. Where did I get Morizon? Yeah, so basically they were, okay, let's just have a listen.
It's important to note that, Regardless of tone or ideology, financial regulation applies equally to everyone, and the company still has not provided evidence of licensing, oversight, or legitimate operations in either the UK or UAE.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter where you're from, who you are, male, female, fat, skinny, short, ugly, good looking, beautiful. It doesn't matter. You still have to apply these rules, apply to everybody. So we're just going to go through a summary of all the red flags. Hopefully we haven't missed any or got too many in here, but let's have a wee listen.
Final red flags summarize 27% profit sharing and cashback claims with no proof of revenue, unverified partnerships with F.Z.C. Regulated companies, UAE license number and traceable in official databases, anonymous management, and no directors listed on public materials, multiple conflicting jurisdictions, UK, UAE, Seychelles, USA, Hong Kong. Marketing language identical to known MLM Ponzi templates, aggressive agent recruitment via weekly sign-up classes, promises of community impact without evidence, same Milton Keynes address reused across all sites, appeals to both low and high-risk businesses, including crypto and gambling.
Yeah, it's like gambling if you invest in these companies. Conclusion, a global rebrand waiting for it to happen. And we'll carry on reading the paragraphs. We're nearly done, and then I'm going to go and end my day. Been streaming for nearly 7 or 8 hours.
Morizon markets itself as a movement that redefines what finance can build, but beneath the shiny graphics and emotionally charged slogans, the structure looks alarmingly familiar.
Can you imagine your bank being in Zoom meetings offering support to people who have got technical problems? They accuse me of being in a private Zoom meeting that's publicly advertised, and I was a customer because I signed up on their platform, because anyone can sign up.
This is not a financial revolution, it's a multi-domain, multi-jurisdiction Ponzi setup dressed up as fintech. The language is polished, the branding professional, but the logic doesn't add up.
And the real funny thing is, I remember the lady said, from now on, we'll make sure that only people that have an email address can come into the Zoom. Because she doesn't want me there, because they want to be transparent, remember?
Before trusting a company that promises 27% returns and worldwide profit sharing, investors and small business owners should ask, who is actually regulating them? Where is the money kept? Who audits their profits?
Yeah, until those questions are answers with verified documentation, Morizon should be treated as an unlicensed high-risk operation, gambling, potentially designed to siphon funds under the
guise of community empowerment.
Yeah, simple, easy, level squeezy. So that's basically it. So just disclaimer, how I investigate, right? I use open source intelligence. Everything I've just done is all from searching the internet, looking for stuff online, haven't made anything up, don't need to. Publicly available records, we couldn't even find them in the publicly available records area. Archive web pages, well, we could find that one of their websites was a year old. Corporate filings, domain data, social media activity, and open blockchain transactions. That's how we do. But I didn't see any blockchain transactions because I didn't see any money flying around there. No private data, no hacking, no unlawful access methods were used. Awesome, which we use, is a powerful technical, what's that word?
Ethical tool
For exposing scams without violating privacy laws or overstepping legal boundaries. Now, why I read that out is because any phone number or any address that we showed on the screen literally is open source. It's available to everybody. It's available on their website, their phone numbers, anything that we used is open source intelligence. It's there for the public. I can use it. I can display it. It's quite simple. If you want to know about me, I am Danny the Heck. I do call myself, well, I got nicknamed the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. But long story short, I've been featured in Bloomberg, National News, Opal India, The Press, The Guardian, ABC News, New York Times, Radio New Zealand, and Otago. There I am there. Look at that. And I've been on radio quite a few times. I believe I'm an expert in this industry. I would not even entertain the idea of getting any close to this company. This was a marathon blog. I spent the time because these people were horrible. They wouldn't even allow me to speak, and they just kept over talking me. It got to the stage where I couldn't tell whether I was over talking them or they were over talking me. It even got to the point where I had to yell down the phone and go, shut up, shut up, shut up. And they keep talking. And then he would stop, she would start. And it was just typical scam behavior. There's no doubt about it. In my professional opinion, these people are running a scam. You should avoid these people. Don't do any business with them until they prove or at least answer the 10 questions that I've put out there. Now, they've already come back and told me that my 10 questions were silly. What will they do when you start questioning them? Are you just trusting them with your money? Are you really going to give these people your KYC details, hand over your passport, your driver's license, your national security number, whatever you call that thing? Are you really? Why? Why do you need this? Go and get a real job. And I mean this nicely. Start a business. I'm entrepreneurial. I've been working for myself for 30 years. All right, that's what I do. I do drop shipping for a living. I teach people how to do drop shipping. That's what I should be doing instead of doing these videos. But that's how I survive. I like working online. I like having the freedom. This afternoon, I went to a cafe with my dog, sat there, had a glass of wine, and worked off my laptop and produced the artwork that you see on the thumbnail. I tidied up the blog. I did the research. I enjoyed doing that. But the reality is, if you give these scammers your money and you hope that they're going to do something good with your money, it's just ridiculous. If their credit card was so good, why do they need your money? Why do they need your energy to do the sales? It's just multi-level marketing. They might call it rewards, but it's multi-level marketing. You get a kickback, a kickback, a kickback. And as far as I'm concerned, it does seem like a pay-to-play platform. And that's what a lot of these credit card companies actually do. So I think I've done my piece. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. That's an hour 15 of my life I'll never get back. If you've got any comments or you want to support my channel, please do hit the join button under this video. I always say to people, do make sure that you subscribe. So there'll be a button that pops up on my head in a minute. And if I do this right there, hit that bell. You'll be notified when I go live if you hit the bell. And the other thing I always say to people, if you let Sadie clean your screen in return for joining up. It's not rocket science. She does such a good job. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? Well, hope you enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. If you've got any comments about this video, do put them underneath. If you've got any naysayers and you think I've just got everything wrong, then give me the information I'm asking for and prove me wrong. This is not an investment opportunity. This is a way of building a multi-level marketing referral network of people who just feed the monster, and it will collapse and you'll get hooked up. It's already been going for 2 years. Clayton Ford, who defrauded people out of $350 million because he brought that money in for Hyperverse, was using this to help people double down and get their return back on the investment. Stop it. Just stop investing in these stupid scams. Stop buying this stuff that promises things that will never come to fruition. I see that right. See you in the next video, guys.